welcome to the Kaitlyn Show. I am Kaitlyn, and for this week I'm going to be talking about something that is near and dear to me. It is called a life journal, and this is the life journal that I use for my sophomore year of college. Pretty much what a life journal is, for those of you who aren't me, because this is something that I do, but I just keep all my drawings, any of my notes, Bible studies, any ideas that I have, any of my events that I have. This all just goes into this one. Well, this is a book. I use spirals, I use little notepads, anything that I can get my hands on that I can just write down. I eventually turn it into my life journal. It's kind of, in a way, like a diary, but instead of just writing down what I did every day of the week, I just keep a track, either through visuals or through words, kind of what's going on in my life, and my ideas and the things I could probably use in the future. So looking at my 6th grade one, back when I started this whole thing, you can tell that it's very well loved. And it's funny, just looking back at what I was thinking in 6th grade, like you have the Meet the Robinsons. That was my favorite movie of all time, and it still is my favorite movie of all time. I have song lyrics from it, I have pictures of the characters, especially the ones that I thought was cute in 5th grade. I have quotes from the movie, I have ideas of things that I could do based off what I learned in the movie, things like that. I went through a whole series of Danny Phantom, which is my favorite TV show of all time. I have every episode printed out from Wikipedia, and I marked down which ones are my favorite, which ones are my least favorite, drawings, sketches, stuff like that. Then we kind of go more into the high school. One thing I was really big into in high school was you take pencils and you like shade in an area and then you use the eraser and you erase out like words or pictures, and so it's kind of like an embossed drawing, because instead of drawing black and white, it's erasing from the ink. I don't know, I thought it was very cool. I did this a lot, especially in 10th grade. And then you have when I'm doing a sophomore year of college, and I started because, I don't know, I got away from these for a while, and I didn't do them because I was just so busy and I didn't have time, or I was always a spiral or anything like that around me. But then last semester, I had a photography class, and the teacher required us to take photos that we liked from either from magazines, from online, any ideas that we get, and write them down. And I just kind of started again picking up the life journal. I did it for photography, like I did what he wanted, but as the semester ended, I slowly turned it into something that I would do back in 6th grade. So you see, primarily, like at the beginning, I have a bunch of photos, stuff that I could do, ideas, but then I have different Bible studies in here from what I've done, prayers, everything like that. There's some drawings that are really bad that I don't want to show anyone, just things like that in here. And so, in all my life journals, on top of every page is almost numbered, but somewhere on the page it also has the date in which I did this and the year, so that way I can see, oh, I was in 15, 14 at the time I did this, or I'm 20 now doing something like this. And it's interesting to see how ideas go from when you're like 6th grade and how they change into something when you're sophomore in college. Is because I'm doing a Bible devotional study, I guess, on my own, about how God communicates with us, because many of us fall into the trap that God can only use big voices or like angels and stuff to communicate with us, and we often feel like he is very silent or distant from us because we can't hear him communicate. But one of the things that I've learned from doing this Bible study is that God communicates in multiple different ways, and that some of them may surprise you. And so one way that I found out that God communicates with me is through my writings. It'll be writing from 6th grade to writings that I did just last week. Because I would sit back and I go through the one in 6th grade, I go through the one I had in high school, I even go back to the one I'm doing now. And I was like, oh, what about this idea? And then I get the idea in my head, and then I think about it, and then I may act on it. Like, I mean, it was the 6th grade life journal that I started that kind of led even up to this post right now about having the one I have now. So it's just these different ideas, and when I have Bible studies in them, like, I write stuff down that's important to me and stuff that I find helpful. And so going back to like a Bible study that I did in the past, it may help me with something that I'm going through in the future, because our past experiences don't just go away. They're still there, and they can be helpful in the future if we just take time to reflect on them. Not to worry about them, not to let them control us, but to reflect on what we learned and what we could improve better, so that way when we're in the situation again, we can do better than we did in the past. And I just find that these are great sources for ideas whenever you have like a writer's block, or if you're bored and you can't think of something to do, just having these ideas from like 6th grade. Maybe you had like a dream or something you wanted to achieve in 6th grade that you kind of forgot, and you go back looking through it and you're like, oh, well, what if I really tried to do that, and everything like that. So I just find that they're a great way to remember stuff that you thought of, and God can really communicate for you, because chances are he put that in your life for a reason, and he thought that to be a very good idea for something you to do. And maybe you forgot about it, and God just needs to remind you. I mean, it's not the big flashing neon sign that God signed. I mean, it's not the big flashing neon sign that we all hope God will use to communicate with us. But it is a way God can communicate with you, and another way for you to learn more about God and to learn more about yourself. So, as for the 2 blog posts that I will be doing this week, I'm actually going to go back through all the life journals that I have, because I have a nice little stack on my shelf in my closet of where I keep them all. And just kind of go through them, look through all ideas, like stuff that I wrote down, and talk about how God is communicating through them to me in the present day now, and kind of give you some helpful hints if you're starting your own, if you don't know where to start, as well as what to do if you have one and you don't feel like it's working. I mean, it is not for everyone. You may try it and find that it works for you. You may try it and find that it doesn't work for you. But there are more than one ways, is what I'm trying to get across, that God communicates with us, and we gotta find what works best for us. So, don't forget to follow my blog every Wednesday and Saturday morning at 8 a.m. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video. Until next week.